not is our choice.
Exactly. 100% right.
Mr. DJ?
100% right.
Can you repeat the question?
Well, we're talking about as far as single mothers, you know, this has been told to me that single mothers can't raise a man, let's call it a black man, because they don't know what it is to be a man. They don't know what they go through, and they can raise a good person, but they really can't raise a man. And my thoughts are that if we follow that perception, then we have a lot of flawed males out there.
that perception is false, because my mother was a single mother, and she's raising me to be a man. You know, she's teaching me all the qualities that, you know, a man should have. And not only that, like, I found other father figures that may not have been my father, but I looked up to my uncles and things like that. So it's not a true statement.
Good answer. Good answer.
Any thoughts, Derek?
Oh, well, yeah, I do have thought, actually. I wasn't actually raised by a single mother, but my mother did have 7 kids, so she did raise 5 of us out of the 7. So I do believe that a mother can raise kids, because out of the 5 that she did raise out of them, they're strong, very strong-hearted. She actually raised 2 boys, actually 3 girls, so they actually are strong-hearted. So I do believe that a mother can raise a kid, actually.
Now, I gotta put in this disclaimer or whatever of not being racist or anything, because you fall in love with who you fall in love with. But statistics say that white women marry 3 times more than black women, and 1 out of 5 black men will marry a white woman. What is, and then, you know, there's this thing out there that black men have this weakness toward white women. That's one of those things out there. I mean, what do you? And when we're talking about the, you know, the unity or the breakdown of the
it's just
culture,
you got the weak man that don't want a strong black woman. So the stereotype of it is that a white woman is a little bit less stronger than a black woman, will take less BS or, you know, mess from a black man, you know, and, you know, like the black man for who he is and not what he got. See, and you deal with the sister, she want this from the man and want that from the black man, and you go to the Caucasian woman, the white woman, and she says, well, I love you for who you is, and we can work together, not try to help you out. But you got some black women that say, well, if you don't get it, I don't want to deal with you, brother. I ain't going to help you out. You should have helped yourself before, you know, you help. You know? So that's a little...
So is it that, well, black women will feel that, black men feel that, that a black woman is not good enough for them, or that they don't accept them? What is your views?
I have a Puerto Rican mother, and I love black women, and I've never even thought about dating outside of a black woman. But it never really bothered me.
But the thing is, that forbidden fruit? Is it a status?
It's not, because
it's only it's up here. It's up here. You eliminate yourself.
Mental.
What could you just think? What could possibly happen? Like, you and this white woman could create something to save every race.
Exactly.
You know, it should never be limited on humans. We are humans in the end.
True. Very good. True. Very good. Like I said, it's just according to statistics, 1 in 5 men, they don't marry the black woman, but okay. Moving on. If you had this magic wand, and we talked about a lot of the things that plague young black men, and if you could do something, or if you're in the process of wanting to do something, or making steps toward it, if you could have a magic wand, or not a magic wand, or just if there's something that you could change that could make the black man's plight better, or if it be politics, if it be within the the rearing of children or whatever, what do you think is a major thing that really needs to be done differently?
Mine is that's an excellent question, because I wish I could have a wand or a magic wand to make all of us as black men start being together, you know, as one, and start realizing that we are a shortage, you know, and we need to work together and make sure that we do what we do as men, you know, and continue to strive, you know, because we keep, ever since I don't know how long, we've been, you know, categorized as this type of person. If we start being together and stop killing each other,
Unity.
It can change.
it can change. We the only one can change it. They can't change it, or women can't change it. It's us as black men can't change it.
Chris?
I don't know. I think I wish I would use the wine. We use the wine to open our minds a little bit more. We so confined to the block, so confined to the TV and the internet, and that's all a lot of us see.
Stereotype.
You know, it's all a lot of us see, and that's what we aiming for when it's so much more than what's that on there. You know, and once they see past that, it's so much out there. It's more than just this corner and that corner. And what your big cousin's doing. It's so much more than that.
It's
A huge world out there. Mr. DJ?
And in addition to what he said, if I had a magic wand, I would try to give black men as a whole the desire to learn about new things. You know, to want to know, you know, what's going on and how can I handle it instead of not caring all the time. As long as it's not me personally.
Right.
So,
Right.
that would be it.
Good.
Mr. Derek?
Well, if I had a magic wand, you know, I would want to make it to where, you know, to reverse back in time to where a lot of kids who didn't actually have father figures can actually go back in time to where the father actually want to take care of the kids, like actually how it was to actually be raised with a father figure, actually have a family. Because I think that a lot of things that actually do go on in the world, if kids actually did have a family and actually see how things was put together, then they would actually want to be more as a group of people and actually stand together, actually want to be one another with each other.
Those are some
excellent question, because if you don't have the whole family around, and you don't have, you know, like you said, the father figure there, you're not going to feel that way in the world. My father wasn't there, so you're going to say, well, I don't have to be, you know, somebody else's father, you know, because my father was there. So that's an excellent answer.
This brings me back to a question that I missed, and I'm going to go back. And there's, when we're talking about perceptions and how society view black men, it has been said that that the black man is not family oriented, that they don't pay child support. You know, they love them and leave them, make babies, and go off. What is that a myth? Is that something we need to work on as a people, as a gender, as a race?
I think on that
or
question,
is it not just true at all? I mean,
it's what you see in society, but it is kind of what it is. I think like back in the days in the 60s with black men, it was so hard for them, and they just wanted to give up. I mean, not wanted to give up, but hey, I'm getting pressure from my home because I'm not providing as a man. I will go somewhere else where somebody else gonna appreciate me. Because if I lose my job, you know, because it was so hard as a black man, and if he lost his job, he didn't feel he was much as a man. You know, so he gonna go somewhere where he feel he's much as a man. That's why you had back in the day a lot of black men left their families because the black woman made them feel they was less than a man.
Inadequate.
Because they couldn't provide for their family.
So the economy had a lot to do with
yeah.
it. And,
in the way of the world, you know, society.
Economy and the women stepping up,
and the job
taking the men's
situation.
job, not taking their jobs, but stepping up to do what the men wasn't doing.
And men feel less than men because they wife at one point in time it was oh, now I'm making more than you, now she's making just as much as you. Oh man, you know.
A lot of times it goes back to how they grew up. They feel like if their pops weren't there, and they feel, I'm sure everybody feel like there's something. And if my father, they probably think if my father left me and I turned out all right, I'm sure my son would do it, or my daughter would do it.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, and another problem we have in the black community, not just black men or black women, is that we're selfish. We're selfish. We don't think about nobody but ourselves sometimes, and it better us to not take care of the kids. Maybe if he didn't want to sit there and take care of the kid, even though he created life, he didn't want to take care of it. The process is what they love doing sometimes. It's just the next step of taking care of a child. They just don't feel like they have to, or they just don't feel like they want to.
So what are some of the solutions here? We talked about some of the problems. What are some of the solutions?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, solutions of black men not being part of their home is just being a man. Period. And taking care of your your responsibilities. So you have to live, and you have to raise that. You don't have to raise that child, but that's what you're supposed to do. You brought this child into this world. You married this woman. Oh, you're supposed to take care of your responsibilities. So that's one solution.
So we're going full circle back to the original question, and then that's so it's then the individual perception of what a man is, and
responsibility.
And part of that would be taking care of the family. So that would be one needed change.
But even with those,
even for the single man though, see, that's another different question too. The single man that don't have a family, he might have family like sisters, and he might have a personal family himself. And that man is still like the selfish man that you see on the street, that the black man that don't care, even though he don't have kids, or even though he's not providing for them. He provided for himself, but we like Chris said, we gotta stop being selfish. We gotta embrace each other as black people. Any chance we get.
So going back full circle, whatever, is this characteristic to the black community and not as these other?
It's just more pointed out here.
Okay.
It's just more pointed out here because.
But it might be because you don't see it. I mean, I'm sure
other cultures, like the Asians, the Indians,
it's not categorized more.
Japanese, Chinese.
But me being part of two different races, I've seen some of like the family oriented differences in black and another race. I see it's big differences sometimes. From what I get from my family on my black side, it's totally different what I get from my family on my Puerto Rican side. Because we can go to a dinner or something. They'll sit us in the back. It's just we never overcome what has been going on for forever.
So you kind of expect certain treatment.
You don't have to embrace it though.
Yeah,
you don't have to embrace it though.
You don't. You don't have to embrace none of it.
Yeah, and I never let it steer me the wrong way of loving them.
And that's what a lot of us we let that persuade us to that way instead of us being strong and say, you're not gonna stop me from being American. That's who I am, a black man, and I got the just as right to be here just as you is. If you Indian, white, or or Puerto Rican, or whatever race you are, but I'm still human. I still deserve respect just like the next man do.
Well, I thank all four of you for giving us the first-hand response from because we can read all about this, and as a woman myself, and we can have coffee and talk about these things or whatever, but actually hearing it from a man, a young black man, or a man that's been through some things or whatever, kind of sheds a little more understanding and light on some of the stereotypes. And I thank you for that, and I thank you for being involved in helping me with this American Sociology project. Thank you much.
You're welcome.
That concludes my interview. Okay, Josh, how'd it go?